Welcome to this explainer. Over the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to completely cut through the incredibly loud noise of social media fitness myths, that endless parade of fad diets, and all the conflicting influencer advice clogging up our feeds. Instead, we're looking strictly at the evidence-based science of nutrition, fat loss, and muscle growth. And we're drawing this directly from a really fascinating discussion between neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman and nutritional science expert Dr. Layne Norton.
Okay, let's dive right in. Today, we're building a pyramid of importance. We'll start with the laws of energy, see exactly where calories go, establish why protein is the king, navigate some of those wild internet myths, and finally, show why consistency absolutely beats biohacking.
So, you might be wondering, why does every new biohack, restrictive diet, or so-called miracle supplement eventually fail to deliver on its massive promises? It's pretty wild to think about, right? Millions of dollars are poured into the fitness industry every year, yet long-term success still seems so incredibly elusive for so many people.
Well, the answer boils down to this core philosophy. Your body obeys the laws of biology, not social media trends. No matter what an influencer promises you, and honestly, no matter how convincing a new dietary ideology might sound, your body is bound by the unchangeable laws of physics. It literally doesn't care what your diet is called. It only cares about energy.
So let's start with our foundation. Section 1, the laws of energy and the physics of fat loss.
You hear the concept of calories in versus calories out debated endlessly online, with a lot of folks dismissing it as outdated. But the science shows it's an inescapable biological law. Every single piece of food you eat contains stored chemical energy. When you eat carbs, fats, or proteins, your digestive system meticulously breaks them down. Eventually, these nutrients are converted into a molecule called ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. Just think of ATP as your body's energy currency. Every thought you have, every breath you take, your heartbeat, your muscle movements, they all require this currency. Your food literally becomes energy. So if you take in more energy than your body spends, the excess has to be stored, mostly as body fat. But if you use more energy than you take in, your body is forced to make a withdrawal from its savings account, which is your stored body fat.
We've all heard people say, I barely eat anything but I can't lose weight, or I exercise all the time and nothing happens. Well, here's the reality check. You could spend an agonizing, sweat-drenched hour on the Stairmaster feeling like you've burned 1,000 calories, when it's really more like 250 to 400, only to completely erase that hard-earned deficit with a single, innocent-looking coffee shop muffin containing 400-plus calories. The laws of energy are absolute. It's our perception of how much energy we're actually dealing with that's deeply flawed. Get this. Studies consistently show that humans naturally underestimate their daily calorie intake by 20 to 50%. At the same time, we drastically overestimate how many calories we burn through exercise. This massive discrepancy just proves that our personal tracking is what's broken, not the laws of thermodynamics. Now, your metabolism does adapt. If you lose weight, your resting metabolism goes down, hunger goes up, and your body tries to preserve energy. But that just means the energy balance equation is dynamic. It definitely doesn't mean it stops existing.
Let's move on to Section 2, where your calories go, and decode exactly what makes up your daily energy expenditure.
What's really fascinating here is how the data completely flips our normal assumptions upside down. When we think of burning calories, we instantly think of sweating it out at the gym. But formal exercise is actually a surprisingly small slice of your daily burn. Your resting metabolic rate, or RMR, is the true heavy lifter. This is the energy your body burns doing absolutely nothing, just keeping your heart beating, lungs breathing, and brain functioning while you sleep. RMR accounts for a massive 50 to 70% of your total daily calorie burn. And the biggest driver of a high RMR? Lean muscle mass. Then you've got the thermic effect of food, which is just the energy required to digest your meals. And finally, there's NEAT.
NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Honestly, this is the hidden secret to daily expenditure. It covers all your non-gym movement. We're talking walking around the office, standing at your desk, cleaning, typing, even just being a chronic fidgeter. Two different people could do the exact same 45-minute gym workout, but their total daily calories burned could differ by hundreds of calories simply because one person has a highly active, NEAT lifestyle while the other sits perfectly still for the other 23 hours of the day. Up in your daily, subconscious movement often has a way bigger impact on fat loss than trying to force in another intense gym session.
Moving right up our pyramid, we arrive at Section 3, protein. Let's look at the absolute building block of your body composition.
Out of everything in your diet, protein has the strongest influence on the actual shape and composition of your body. It's absolutely vital for muscle growth, recovery, hormone production, and even immune function. Plus, it has the highest thermic effect of food, meaning your body burns 20 to 30% of the calories in the protein just by digesting it. It's also incredibly satiating, so it keeps you feeling full. To maximize muscle growth and maintenance, Dr. Norton recommends hitting about 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So if you weigh 70 kilograms, that translates to a highly actionable target of about 112 grams of protein a day. Without hitting these targets, building and preserving muscle, especially if you're eating in a calorie deficit, becomes exceptionally difficult.
But it's not just about the total amount of protein. The quality matters too. The crucial thing to understand here is a specific essential amino acid called leucine. Animal proteins, like eggs, chicken, fish, and whey, are what we call complete proteins. They have all the essential amino acids in great proportions. Plant proteins can absolutely support muscle growth too, but they often have lower concentrations of leucine. And leucine? It acts like an ignition switch for muscle protein synthesis. You have to hit a specific threshold of leucine in your bloodstream to flip that switch and tell your body, hey, build muscle. If you're completely plant-based, the science simply says you need to be a bit more strategic. Maybe combine different plant sources, eat slightly more total protein, or consider supplementing with leucine to make sure you hit that ignition switch.
Next up is Section 4, Navigating Internet Diet Myths. Let's cut through the noise and impartially evaluate some of the biggest dietary fears floating around online.
If you spend 5 minutes online, you'll be told that processed foods are practically poison, but the evidence-based science gives us a much more nuanced view. The processing itself isn't necessarily the villain. The real danger is how these foods are engineered. Ultra-processed foods, like chips, candy, and fast food, are specifically designed to be hyper-palatable. They're low in fiber, super tasty, and incredibly easy to eat in massive quantities. They basically bypassed our natural fullness cues, leading to accidental calorie overconsumption. Compare that to minimally processed foods like fruits, potatoes, oats, and lean meats. These are high in volume and fiber. They fill you up, making it really difficult to accidentally overeat. It all comes right back to the laws of energy. Ultra-processed foods just make it way too easy to blow past your daily calorie limit.
We also have to talk about the sweeping claims regarding artificial sweeteners and seed oils. Social media will have you believe these are inherently toxic, uniquely inflammatory, or the singular cause of all modern health problems. But when we look at the totality of scientific evidence, those claims just aren't supported. For artificial sweeteners, the data shows they are a safe, effective tool to reduce total calorie intake when used within approved limits. If a diet soda stops you from drinking a high-calorie sugary drink, it's a win for weight management. As for seed oils, like canola, soybean, or sunflower oil, the science shows they aren't inherently toxic. In fact, numerous studies show that replacing saturated fats with unsaturated fats, which includes many seed oils, actually improves cardiovascular risk markers. The real issue is that seed oils are usually found in calorie-dense, ultra-processed junk food, so we should be blaming the calorie density of the junk food, not the oil itself.
Finally, we've reached the peak of our pyramid. Section 5, Consistency beats biohacking. Let's talk about the habits that actually move the needle.
We all love the idea of a perfect supplement to shortcut our progress. But honestly, most of the supplement industry is just noise. That said, if you're going to take one single supplement, decades of rigorous scientific research point to a clear winner: creatine monohydrate. Remember ATP, that cellular energy currency we talked about? Creatine works by increasing phosphocreatine stores in your muscle cells. This allows you to regenerate ATP much faster during short, high-intensity efforts. The benefits are incredibly well documented. It increases strength, improves power output, lets you handle more training volume, and enhances muscle growth. There's even some really cool emerging research suggesting it has potential cognitive benefits, especially when you're sleep-deprived or doing mentally demanding tasks.
And the best part? It's simple, it's cheap, and it's safe. A daily maintenance dose of just 3 to 5 grams is literally all you need to reap these benefits. It has an excellent safety record for healthy people. You don't need complex loading phases. You don't need expensive hybrid formulas. Just plain, boring creatine monohydrate, 3 to 5 grams a day.
Because at the end of the day, no single exotic diet, no expensive biohacking gadget, and no tiny metabolic trick is ever going to replace the boring, yet undeniably effective, consistency of the true fundamentals. This right here is your real roadmap. Number 1, eat enough protein to build and maintain your muscle. Number 2, maintain an appropriate calorie intake for your specific goal.
whether you want to lose fat or gain weight. Number 3, strength train regularly to signal to your body that it needs to keep that muscle. Number 4, stay active throughout the day to keep your NEAT high. And number 5, sleep adequately so your body can actually recover and regulate its hormones. These 5 steps are the unbreakable foundation of human health and body composition.
So armed with the unchangeable science of how your body actually works, we're left with one final question. Are you ready to ditch the shortcuts, the fads, and the biohacks? Are you ready to stop searching for a magic pill and instead do the consistent daily work required to transform your health? Like Dr. Norton says, real progress comes from getting in the arena. Your body is ready to respond to the laws of biology. Are you ready to put them to work?